Hey guys, it's Lefforge. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this very special year-end recap of Run Day Monday. So at the end of every year in my running life, I like to kind of go over the year before and think about, what did I love? What races did I do that were fantastic? And also kind of planning for the upcoming year. What races am I going to do? Those of you that have been following the channel for a while, you know that running and racing is really part of my overall mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and I tend to not run unless I have a race scheduled. So it's all part of this plan I have to just kind of stay healthy as I age. I am 48 years old and I still have been consistently running 2 to 3 half marathons a year. Gosh, I guess for the last 9 years. So it's really become a part of who I am. And as I plan out each year and I get my brand new planner out, which this is my planner for this year for those of you that are interested. It says the wisdom of change can be seen everywhere. And it is an Erin Condren planner. And I have really been having a lot of fun just these last couple days. Just, the week between Christmas and New Year's, I find to be beautiful and peaceful, but also a great time to do things like write out my plans. And I have a lot of great travel plans coming up, and I will do that as a separate video. But for this video, I wanted to show you guys all of my medals from 2018, talk about the races that I ran. The majority of them were Disney races with one notable exception, and also just kind of chat with you about what I loved about the races that I did and why. So let's start with my first medal from 2018, which is this gorgeous 13.1 from last year's Disney World Half Marathon. Marathon weekend, I think I counted, I've done 8 marathon weekends. I love this weekend. Now, what I did not love in 2018 is that I actually had the flu. And you may have already heard this story, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but I ran the race. I don't typically use a Garmin watch or anything when I'm running an actual race. And I can kind of tell if I'm giving it everything I have or if I'm just sort of being lazy. Well, all during the couple days leading up to marathon weekend, I hadn't felt great. Like I'd gotten chills a couple times and I just kind of had that sense that something wasn't quite right, but nothing too serious. So I got up race morning and I felt pretty good and I ran what I thought was a great race. Then got finished and really started getting the chills and then checked my finish time. Now hear me, I have no regrets because I really did run as quickly as I could during this race. So it isn't like I am beating myself up. Do not hear me say that in any way, shape or form. But I did feel like I had worked really hard. So I was like, you know what? I bet that was a PR. I was like, yeah, I bet it, I'm having this conversation with my head. I bet it was a PR. And I get on my phone when I'm on the bus on the way back and it was like, 2:47 or something, like not even close to a PR for me, not even close to a Disney PR, and I don't run Disney races very fast typically. So I was like, that's a little odd. By the time we got back, when I got back to the room, got changed, went out to eat, I realized I think I'm running a fever, ended up going to urgent care, and I had type A flu, like the flu, the serious flu. So I am now calling this race the half marathon from January the 6th, 2018, my PR with the flu. It all ended up being fine. I got on Tamiflu. We added an extra day to our trip because we had driven down for that trip and I'm like, there is no way I'm gonna try to drive back with the flu. All was fine at the end, although I was sick for about 3 weeks. So if you haven't gotten your flu shot, now would be a really good time, especially if you're going down for marathon weekend, because I am convinced that I actually got the flu on the way down or that first day that we were at Disney. So get your flu shot. That's your PSA for today. So that is my medal from the January half marathon. This weekend, I'm leaving again for this same weekend by the time this goes up, like 10 days. And it just feels like old home week to me. I end up seeing a bunch of people that I know, connecting with old friends, making new friends. The spirit of it is great. If you're running your first half marathon, or if you're traveling solo and you're worried you're gonna be, you know, feeling insecure and feeling like you don't know anybody, don't worry about it. Runners are great to each other, and literally just start chatting with someone in line and you will have a friend for life. Next up, I did the Star Wars half marathon. Now I am doing this race again. This is my 4th year coming up to do this race. I've done it every year that they've done it at Walt Disney World. I'm very sad that they have gotten rid of the races in California, but I also ran the Disneyland race there. Absolutely love that race. But this is my medal from the Star Wars half marathon. And this half marathon, as is typical when the races are in April, was very warm. It was humid. It wasn't as warm and humid as some have been, but I just ran it with my friend Sarah. We had a really good time. The humidity really messed with me. One of the things about the weather that we had last year was I didn't really get acclimated to warmer weather before this race happened. And so I wasn't prepared for the humidity. So this race was harder. I felt like it was harder than it should have been. Having said that, this is a race that I always run for fun. I will put the playlist right here. It was the first trip that I vlogged, so for that reason, it's very significant to me. But if you wanna go check that out and see the great time I had with my friends, Cindy and Hazel and Sarah, be kind, because it was the first trip that I vlogged, but I just go check that out and you can see all the fun stuff we did that weekend. It was a fantastic weekend from beginning to end. The race could have been better, but all of the other pieces of it, time with my sweet girlfriends, and it was just fabulous. So anyway, make sure you go and check out that playlist, and that was the Star Wars half marathon. Now this year, they're letting you choose dark side or light side. As of right now, I'm signed up for the light side, but everyone else I know is doing dark side, so I may have to change that. I don't know, we'll have to see. So the next race that I did, and I actually should have brought my t-shirt down, but I didn't. The next race I did was the Peachtree. Now the Peachtree 10K is kind of famous. It is the biggest road race in the world. I think that's right. And I had to enter a lottery to be able to do it. I did do a video about it. Again, I was really early in my vlogging, so be kind. But the Peachtree was a blast. There were runners from everywhere there. It was massive, but very well organized. I loved running through downtown Atlanta. I loved seeing parts of downtown Atlanta that I had never seen before. The energy of the race was great. It is on the 4th of July in Atlanta, so it was a little on the warm side, but not nearly as bad as I've heard it's been other years. So you just kind of expect that. Very hilly race, and it ended up being just a really, really fun, just one of those days where I felt like I was part of the overall running community, and it's just a great race. So if you've ever thought about doing the Peachtree Road Race, I would definitely highly recommend it. Super fun course support, and just a great race overall. So next up on my race calendar from 2018 was the Disneyland Paris half marathon. And you guys, I mean, come on. How can we ever top that race? Traveling to Paris, doing the race, meeting so many great people, meeting friends from literally all over the world. I'll put the playlist here. I'm very well documented for this year, so it's really easy for you to go catch up on everything that I did. But as I was thinking through my 2018 races, I was like, it almost feels like that race didn't happen, because it just was the whole trip, traveling by myself overseas for the first time, doing downtown Paris, Disneyland Paris, all of that. It was a magical trip from beginning to end. The race itself was so beautiful, running through the Disneyland parks, of course, but also running through the countryside. I don't even have words for what a truly remarkable time that was. So this is my medal from the half marathon itself. And apparently they've done the exact same medal every year of this race. They've just changed the colors a little bit. So I really like that race. It just says half marathon Disneyland Paris. Really, really pretty. And I should have shown you guys, a lot of times not a lanyard, I guess you would call it that. A lot of times these have artwork in and of themselves. This one was really basic. It just says Run Disney 2018. But I'll show you that one from the other half marathon medal. See that? The colors usually match. And then the Star Wars one had a really fun pattern on it, and it had Darth Vader on it as well. So you can kind of see the detail there. And it has half marathon written in, you know, a Star Wars script. So these medals, I feel like, are their own kind of standalone pieces of artwork. I'm kind of into that kind of thing, especially the design process. And I'm really in love with all of the medals I got this year. But then to cap it all off is what has become, other than my marathon medal from the 20th anniversary, which is still my favorite medal of all time. This has become my absolute favorite medal, earned in 2018, and it is my Castle to Chateau medal. There are just not that many of these floating around out there, you guys. There are just not that many people that have run a half marathon in Florida and then have run in Paris. And this was a dream that I had since they first started doing the races in France, and it has just been, I wanna show you guys, I wanna make sure I'm reading everything that's on here. So it says Run Disney at the top, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little Mickey right here at the top. And I'll put a picture in here with a close-up of all of these as well. And then there's two little Mickeys down by the word challenge. And there's, of course, that beautiful Disneyland Paris castle that I just cannot get over. And the American flag, and then also the French flag. And then on the strap, it is red, white, and blue, which is great because that's the American flag and the French flag. See what they did there? And there are just these really cool stars. So this, I could cry even looking at this medal, honest to God. I just, with what I'm doing with my gap year and taking time for myself and having this be such a dream and having my husband be like, you need to go and do this, and all of the support that I felt from my family and from you guys and from other runners, I really don't know in all of my running life how I will be able to top this experience. And honestly, I'm not sure that I want to. Like it was just one of those things that I will remember the rest of my life. If you have ever thought about running Disneyland Paris, just stop thinking about it and do it. I can just tell you that I don't know that I've talked to any American runners that have gone over and done it that have been like, meh, it was okay. Like it is a completely, you know, and it's interesting. And I did a whole video just on this, so you can go watch for more details on that. But it was a complete departure from anything I've done in the United States, and yet at the same time, it was very similar, and it felt very much like what I know from home. So the mix of those two things, the Disney elements, the friends that I made, the people I hung out with, this medal is by far my favorite from this year. So moving into 2019, what do we have planned? Well, first of all, of course, coming up I leave in just 10 days, we have the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. Now for Marathon Weekend, I'm gonna be participating in the 10K on Friday and the half marathon on Saturday. I get down there on Thursday, and it is going to be a packed few days. I'm there 5 nights, but I have so much going on. I'm hoping to meet up with a couple of YouTubers. My husband is coming with me for at least part of the trip, maybe even more. He has some reserve days in there. For those of you who don't know, my husband is an airline pilot, and pilot schedules are a little odd. So he requested the days off, and he got like 3 of them. So we're waiting to see if maybe he can swing the other one. So I'll know that soon. But I'm excited to have him down there with me. We will be at the Boardwalk Inn. Please, please, please make sure you come and say hello to me if you're down there. I especially want those of you that are running the marathon, please be looking for me. I will be cheering at the boardwalk, which is right around, I think we're at mile 24 at that point, so very close to the end. And I will have a sign, and I'll be screaming my lungs out. So definitely look for me then, and I hope I can be an encouragement to some of you. And then in April, I have the Star Wars Half Marathon again. I'll be going down with Sarah and Cindy from the last trip. I'm not sure if Hazel's gonna come with us, although Hazel, if you're watching this, it's not too late. You can still sign up and go with us. So we're gonna be running that race together. We're staying in the at Bay Lake Tower. Very excited. That's gonna be a very quick trip, but that'll just be the next big race that I'm training for. And after that, I don't really have anything else scheduled. So I've been kind of thinking, normally I do some sort of like one more half marathon. I don't know if I wanna do, I I don't know. And this is a dangerous thing for me to put out into the universe, because those of you that know me know that I have a lot of friends that enable me to do lots of different races all over the world, and they're gonna be chiming in, do this race, but I kind of would like to do one more race, if not in the late spring, then maybe early fall. So we'll see. I don't think I'm gonna do Paris again, but you know, I never say never, because it was, you know, it was such a great experience. I almost hate not to do it again, because now I feel like I know what I'm doing. Anyway, if you have a suggestion for one more race you think I need to fit in there, please tell me in the comments below. I have loved this last year. I have loved sharing my adventures with you guys. I have loved the races that I've done, and I cannot wait to see how my training and running goes for 2019. So if you are setting a goal for yourself, if you are not currently fit or you're not currently a runner and you want to become one, stick around. I'm going to continue doing these Run Day Monday vlogs, probably for the duration, and we'll be talking throughout the year about different tips and tricks. I'm hoping to do a whole series kind of on if you're new to running, and some things that might help you and encourage you along the way. And I'm just glad that you're here. So please make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Like, comment, share this video, and I cannot wait to talk to you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.